Welcome to Charlie's Toolbox, a podcast for women building sovereign, self-led lives. Here, we explore how art, fashion, media, and mindset become tools for power, clarity, and creative direction. This isn't self-help. This is cultural strategy for women who lead themselves.
Hello there, and welcome to this week's episode of Charlie's Toolbox. Today we are exploring Pillar 5 of Choosing Yourself, Career Architecture, the strategic framework that transforms how you navigate work to build maximum freedom and security in a system that wasn't designed for your liberation in mind. Over the past 2 weeks, we've discussed financial autonomy, body freedom, relationship sovereignty, and family design. These pillars lay the foundation, but career architecture is where you build the infrastructure to fund and sustain everything else. This is where your sovereignty gets supported. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how to strategically navigate your career to maximize income, freedom, and security, regardless of whether that means climbing the corporate ladder or building something entirely different. And if this episode gives you clarity, please like, subscribe, and share it. And if you want more depth and understanding on career architecture, subscribe to my Substack at Charlie's Toolbox. Every woman who discovers this framework is one more woman who stops limiting her options and start building real security. So do me a favor, share with your network, because this is going to be beneficial. So what is career architecture? Career architecture means intentionally designing your professional life to maximize freedom and security. It's about making strategic career decisions that give you money, time, flexibility, and options. And this is how you choose yourself in the realm of work. Let me be clear about what we're navigating. We are navigating a system, and I need you to understand what this system is. We live in a patriarchal, racist, capitalist system, and understanding how it works is the first step to maneuvering within it successfully. Under patriarchy, women's labor is systemically devalued. We're paid less for the same work, passed over for promotions, and expected to perform emotional labor without compensation. We're punished for ambition while being told we're not ambitious enough. We're expected to work like we don't have families, and then judged for not being devoted enough mothers. Under racism, Black women and women of color face compounded barriers. We're stereotyped, underpaid, and overworked. We're expected to prove our competence repeatedly while watching less qualified colleagues advance. We navigate workplace discrimination while being gaslit about its existence. Our boundaries are difficult. Our expertise is questioned. Our anger is unprofessional. Under capitalism, your labor is a commodity. The system will extract as much as possible while giving back as little as necessary. It will pay you based on what it can get away with, not what you're worth, what it can get away with. It will demand loyalty while offering none in return. These systems don't just coexist. They create conditions where your options are limited. Your security is fragile, and your freedom is expensive. But here's what they don't tell you. You can use your understanding of these systems to maneuver strategically and build something they never intended for you to have. And that's real security and genuine freedom. What career architecture offers, and the goal is freedom. Career architecture is about one thing: freedom. Not freedom from work, but freedom in how you work and what work gives you. Freedom means having enough money that financial stress doesn't control your decisions. having enough time that you're not constantly exhausted, having enough flexibility that you can live where you want and how you want, having enough security that one job loss doesn't devastate you. This is especially critical for single women. When you're single and you don't have a second income to fall back on, you don't have someone to split the bills with, your security is entirely in your hands, which means your career strategy has to be airtight. The goal isn't to reject money or success. The goal is to get as much of both as possible so you can buy back your freedom. Career architecture means making strategic moves that maximize your freedom and security. And this looks different for everyone. And that is the point. There's no one path. There's your path. For some women, climbing the corporate ladder absolutely makes sense. If that senior position comes with a salary that lets you hire a cleaner, a meal service, and still save aggressively, climb. If that director role gives you the resources to work remotely and travel, climb. If that VP title comes with enough money to build multiple income streams on the side, climb. The ladder isn't the enemy. Being trapped on it is. So, what are you building toward? You want maximum income. You want maximum income. You want to earn as much as possible because money buys options. Money buys cleaners, so you're not spending your weekend scrubbing toilets. Money buys quality childcare. Money buys the ability to say no to jobs that drain you. Money buys investments that generate passive income. Money buys security. Don't be ashamed of wanting money. Women are taught to be modest about ambition and uncomfortable with wealth. Meanwhile, men negotiate aggressively and accumulate without apology. Get the money as much as you possibly can. Remote work and flexibility. This is what you're building towards. Remote work means you can live anywhere. It means you can travel. It means you can structure your day around your life instead of commuting to an office and dealing with office politics. If you're going to work in a way that gives you geographic freedom and time and autonomy. We're building towards multiple income streams. This is non-negotiable for security. If you lose your job, get sick, or your industry shifts, you need a backup. You need a backup plan, especially if you are single. This might mean investments, rental income, a side business, freelance work, or consulting. The point is that your survival never depends on one source. Multiple streams also give you leverage. When you're not desperate for any single paycheck, you can negotiate better. You can walk away from toxicity. You can take strategic risks. What you are building towards time preservation, y'all. The whole point of making money is to buy back your time. If you're making 6 figures but working 80 hours a week and too exhausted to enjoy your life, that's not freedom. That's just expensive captivity. Hire help. Get the cleaner, use the meal delivery, pay for the convenience. You're not being lazy. You're being strategic about your most valuable resource, a resource that you cannot get back. So how do you navigate the system strategically? Here's how you maneuver. You get paid what you're worth, then get paid more. Research market rates for your role, industry, and experience. If you're underpaid, you need to either negotiate, and I would say leave, not in this economy yet, but see if you can negotiate. And let's start there because this economy is wild. So, if you have a good position, stay at it, but see if you can leverage. Loyalty to a company that underpays you, it is as a form of exploitation, and people are using this system, this current phase in our political and economic society to exploit you. So be aware of your environment. Be aware of where you are. Know that companies and organizations know that this job market is not great. And so they may be promoting you without the salary. They may be like, here, we have a promotion, but you're not going to get a salary bump. And probe and ask questions about whether or not there is room or space for, getting paid more. Every time you get a job offer, negotiate. Every raise conversation, negotiate. Women, especially Black women, often accept first offers because we're taught not to be difficult. And that conditioning can cost you hundreds or even thousands over a career. So try to negotiate every single time, but make sure you do with tact, with strategy. Make sure you have the experience and the skills to leverage that negotiation. Number 2, you climb strategically, but not blindly. If the ladder gets you 6 figures, remote work, and equity, climb it. But climb with your eyes open. Some promotions come with more responsibility and stress, but not enough additional pay to justify it. Some leadership roles trap you in offices and meetings when you want flexibility. Ask yourself with every move, does this get me closer to freedom and security or just a fancier title? Number 3, build your exit strategy while you climb. Even if you love your job, even if you're climbing successfully, build multiple income streams. Start investing. Build skills you can monetize independently. Create a safety net so robust that you're never trapped. The women with the most power are the ones who can walk away. Build that power. Number 4, optimize ruthlessly for remote work. Remote work is one of the most powerful tools for freedom. You can live somewhere affordable while earning a big city salary. You can travel. You can structure your day around your energy and life, not someone else's schedule. If your current role isn't remote, try to make it a priority in your next move. And I know that is not going to be applicable for all industries, but if you have an industry that allows for that, try to look for it. And if your industry doesn't offer remote work, consider how you can transition to ones that do. Or stay where you are and see how you can negotiate for more flexibility or downtime. Number 5, protect your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Time is the only thing you can't get back. If you're making good money but have no time to live, you're not free. Set boundaries. Say no to extra projects that don't come with extra pay. Don't work weekends unless you're compensated for it. Unless you have to. Use your money to buy back time whenever possible. Number 6, invest in help without guilt. Women are taught to do everything ourselves to prove we can handle it all. That is a setup for burnout. Use your income, preserve your time and energy. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself. So I get the question all the time, why does this matter? Like, why do, they understand that finances mean a lot because everybody need it in order to survive. But why do I emphasize single women? Why do I emphasize ensuring that single women build their career architecture? Here's why. You're the only income. You're the only income. When you age, when you get old, if you get sick, you're the only income. So you need to have a safety net. You're building wealth as one person in a system designed around dual incomes. You need enough money to cover emergencies, health care, and retirement, because your income is going to be the only one that's supplementing that. And finally, your security and freedom are entirely self-funded. So that means that you must be more aggressive about salary, more disciplined about savings, more strategic about building multiple income streams, and more protective of your time and energy. You are not building for two, you're building for one. So you need to earn enough for two. When you architect your career strategically, everything else, all of the pillars that I discussed in the last 2 episodes, they become very much possible. You get financial autonomy because it's secure, because you are maximizing income and building multiple streams. You get body freedom because you're protected, because you have money for healthcare and time and rest and self-care. You get relationship sovereignty because you're never financially dependent. You're not saying yes to a relationship because you have to, because your survival is based on it. You're saying yes or no because that is what you want to do. Your family design is achievable because you have the resources and flexibility to create any structure you want. If you want to be a purposeful single woman, single mom, you can. If you want to co-live with your friends, you have the income, you have the savings to put towards a house. You can. Career architecture is not just about work. It's about funding your entire life on your terms. So I gave you a lot of information, right? It's a lot. It can be overwhelming, but I am also very good at steps. It is the Capricorn in me. It is the ADHD in me. I have to have a clear formula, a clear plan, and I'm going to give you your plan. This is how you're going to implement career architecture. Number one, you're going to audit your current situation. Are you being paid your worth? Do you have flexibility? Are you building multiple income streams? Could you survive 6 months without this job? That's going to give you a very, very clear picture on what you need to do. Number two, define what freedom looks like for you. Where do you want to live? How do you want to spend your time? What does security mean to you? Your career should serve these answers. Okay? Number three, make strategic moves. If you're underpaid, try to negotiate. I typically would say leave, but y'all keep your job in this economy. Be stable. If the corporate ladder gets you to freedom faster, climb it. If remote work is available, prioritize it. If you have one income stream, start building a second. Get on social media, build that company, put that content out. It's time. Number four, invest in time preservation. Calculate what your time is worth per hour. If a cleaner costs less per hour than you earn, hire them. Same for meal prep, laundry service, or any task that drains your time. Do that. And number five, build your safety net aggressively. Y'all see what our politics are. You guys see what our economy is. You've seen the statistics of how many Black women have been let go from their role since the start of this administration. You need to be aggressive. Some fun things that you used to do, you might have to put that on the back burner for now. You may have to give yourself 2 years of prioritizing saving. And then maybe you can start integrating those fun things. Or increase your income so that you can keep those fun things. You need an emergency fund. 6 months, y'all. 6 months to a year. A year preferably, because y'all see this economy. Investments. You cannot save money into wealth. You have to invest money into wealth. If you really want money, it is an investment, y'all. Saving is great, don't get me wrong. You need it for your emergency fund, but if you have extra income, invest. Side incomes, guys, content, social products, do it. In your retirement account, guys, max out your 401k. Go beyond that. If your job matches, which a lot of people's job match, go do it. That's free money. The goal is to never be desperate, never be trapped, and always, 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 always have options. Everything you're doing right now is to have options. So here's a little recap for today. We've explored Pillar 5 of choosing yourself, which is career architecture. We've examined how patriarchy, racism, and capitalism creates boundaries and how you can maneuver strategically to build maximum freedom and security. We've established that the goal is to get as much money as possible. I know a lot of people don't like that. I know everybody's anti-capitalist, but when you can't eat, them anti-capitalist sentiments, they may still stay, but you're going to want to figure out how to eat in this system. So I will say that. You want to get as much money as possible so you can buy back your time. You want to build multiple income streams for security, work remotely for flexibility if you can, if that is in your industry, and never be trapped by one employer or one source of income. Okay? We have to be strategic amongst ourselves. We gotta be. If you need to room with your friends and y'all can save money, do that. Your sister, your family, do that. Save your money, especially now. So here's what I want you to remember. Wanting money isn't shallow. You're not a bad person. And if someone's moral posturing to make you seem like you have bad character, they are just wrestling and angry at their situation, and they want you to feel the same way too. You know, usually when people moral posture, well, why do you like money? Why do you feel that way? Why do you have to, you know, you're not a good person because you want that. That's their own insecurity showing and them giving voice to it. It has nothing to do with you. Wanting money is strategic, especially now. Climbing the corporate ladder isn't selling out, it's building resources. Hiring help isn't lazy, it's intelligent. Building multiple income streams isn't paranoid, it's essential. You live in a system that was not designed to support your freedom. It just wasn't. Especially if you're a woman, a black woman, and you're single. The system is not for you. But you can still maneuver it. You can still build something powerful. You can earn aggressively, save strategically, invest wisely, and create a life where you have options always. So what I want you to do this week, 3 things. I have 3 things that I need you to do. First, research what people in your role actually earn. And if you're underpaid by more than 10%, start planning your negotiation. Also, see what your company is making. Because if they haven't made anything for this quarter, then you know that may not be the most strategic conversation to have. Second, identify one area where you can buy back your time. It may be helpful. Maybe you don't have the money for that. Maybe you do. But if you do, try to buy back your time. Third, start building your second income stream. Open that investment account. Start trading. Start that side project. Explore that consulting opportunity. Put yourself on Fiverr. Hire yourself out. And if this episode shifted your perspective, share it with another woman who's still playing small with her career. And let's build security and freedom together. That concludes our exploration for today. I hope this conversation has sparked something within you. A new insight, a challenge to the status quo, or a deeper connection to your own radical vision. Remember, Charlie's Toolbox is more than a podcast. We are a cultural studio, a movement, a revolution. If you're ready to dive deeper, to access exclusive tools, and to build alongside a powerful assembly of visionary women, visit charliestoolbox.com to discover the Radical Atelier. Thank you for listening. Until next time, keep